common gift for Valentine's Day. It is jewelry, and whether you are getting it this weekend or chances are, you know what, you're getting a piece of jewelry or you wear a piece of jewelry every single day anyway. So how do we best take care of it? Well, we're joined by Jennifer Joffmann with Winsor Jewelers to talk about how to properly care for our jewelry. So I just want to know, like, kind of off the bat, what is the biggest mistake that people make with their jewelry?
I would say it's probably a tie between sleeping in it and wearing it at the gym.
Ooh, okay. So I do think a lot of people sleep in their jewelry, especially like their wedding bands and stuff. They don't want to take them off, or their earrings, that kind of thing, or they've got a necklace. So really, we should be taking everything off when we sleep?
Ideally, that's the best thing to do, but in all reality, that's not what we always tend to do. So we do recommend if you do frequently wear your jewelry, that we want you to come in. We will happily check on it ourselves and make sure everything is good and tight.
Okay, so I guess whether we're working out or whether we're sleeping, we're kind of putting some stress on the jewelry, right? The way that we're wearing it or sitting on it or whatever, that kind of thing. And so that means stones need to be checked. What else needs to be checked?
Yes.
We were talking during the break and you said the bottom part of your ring needs to be checked. Tell me
Yes.
why.
Yes, so especially if you're at the gym or if you're carrying that car seat for your babies or pulling luggage because you travel frequently, sometimes so much pressure will end up kind of pushing that ring down and making it out of round. So too far to bend, it'll end up cracking or put some fracture points in there. So we definitely want to be mindful of that and take a look.
Okay, so a lot of people put their jewelry in like a little cup at night or whatever else. Does it really matter where we put our jewelry?
Ideally, we want to put it in a nice, secure spot. If you have a jewelry box that has some organizers like such, it's really great to kind of keep everything separated. And this way, it's not touching each other. It's not going to scratch the diamonds because diamonds on diamonds, they can actually scratch. And a lot of people don't realize that.
Okay, all right, so we need to put them at least in like their own little spot so they're not touching in a big clump with everything else. What about like when we travel? Do we need to have like a separate thing for each item that we're carrying?
It really depends. So for watches, like for example, at Windsor, we offer watch rolls. So you can put multiple watches on here, or even you can combine it with watches and bracelets. So you can be like a his and hers. Kind of resorting back to this little thing here, you can do your rings, you can do necklaces. And if this isn't something that you have at home, you can even go as simple as a little Ziploc bag and keeping that chain outside of it so it doesn't tangle up inside. So you can simply just pull it out and wear it on your vacation.
Okay, so you snap it all on the sides and you leave a little bit of that chain in the middle. That is super smart. I
Yeah,
had never even thought about that. All right.
yeah.
Old school, we all used to clean our jewelry with like Windex and hot water and dish soap and whatever. Is that still the same?
Really not preferred to do it that way. We do sell jewelry cleaner here at the store as well as polishing cloths. And of course, we are happy to clean your jewelry for you as well while checking it. But you really don't want to use any type of chemicals or soaps because what you might not realize is that if it doesn't get fully clean, that soap and detergents or chemicals are going to actually crystallize and it will stick to the stones. So it kind of didn't really make much of a difference.
And then how often should we be cleaning our stuff if we bring it in or whatever else?
Consider it as if you're doing like a dental visit. Ideally, we suggest at least once, maybe twice a year, just depending on how often you're wearing it, or if you've done something recently that might feel like it could have been compromised in some way. We definitely want to check it on that occasion as well. So I'd say about 6 to 12 months.
Okay, that doesn't seem like too out of the ordinary to be able to put that on the to-do list. What about like perfume, lotion, hairspray?
Yes. So hairspray, I am a fan of hairspray myself. So I tend to put my jewelry on after I'm fully ready and about to walk out the door because that hairspray is really just going to stick to it and you can feel the texture of it. As far as lotions, we do recommend maybe taking your pieces off, setting it in front of you, putting the lotion on, and then putting the pieces back on. And of course, especially if you're putting lotion on or if you have it just recently cleaned, when putting them off and on your finger, grab it from the side because there's nothing like putting something sticky, oily, lotiony on top of that freshly cleaned stone and then having it all mucky again.
Right. I love the idea that you say take it off right in front of you while you do that, because you know some of us are going to leave it certain places and whatever else. You know us all so well, even though you don't even know us, right? I know you've seen plenty of it.
It's true.
Thank you, Jennifer. We appreciate your time and expertise. If you missed any of this, maybe you need to send it to someone who wears jewelry and maybe doesn't take care of it the way that she's saying. You might want to look in the Two Wants to Know section of our website.